From BX till Brooklyn. From BX till Brooklyn. From BX till Brooklyn. We get it on, no shit, man. And I'll be back on track. New York, New York. I think we're back on track. Where the Bronx at? Is New York in the house? Say what now?
Bronx, Manhattan, Staten, Queens, and Brooklyn. It's the remix. Where the Bronx at back? Bronx, Manhattan, Staten, Queens, and Brooklyn.
Word, I'm on my NY shit. NY baby with my NY band. New York, New York, New York, New York. Word, I'm on my NY side. BX Bronx, get it NY band. New York, New York, New York.
The king of the swag zone. You pawns gotta check me. David is right, you ain't seen New York till you met me. Ray ass like Jose, you get me? But overall, I'm a good fella. Pesci, so don't test me, haters just don't do it. You Patrick ass niggas, I will never let you in. Dominican and my Spanish is so fluid. So what I got that beat Dewsbury is you doing? I'm on this corner like it's 89. This that New York swag that had Nas in that state of mind. You shake spines if you lame strive, but your wide clef niggas keep yelling if you hate I.
And I'm so NYC, here's that Prince of the Bronx, baby, NY's me. That's right. And it's that NY remix, Empire State, we got these hits for the CC. Okay. From uptown down to Harlem, jumping on that west side, headed to the garden. I got my swag on track, can't fit it to the left, is NY on my chest. Yes, cause word upon hate change. Come BX like the 2-4 on that 6 train. And I'll be back on track, New York, New York. This is the remix track, like word. I'm on my NY shit, NY baby with my NY band. New York, New York, New York, New York. Word, I'm on my NY swag.
Let's go.
BX Bronx, get it NY fast. New York, New York, New York, New York.
Street corner. Let's go. New York. 750 out with the stash box. Swag by the bricks, I'm opening up a swag spot. Let's go. These rappers starting to bore me. And the Yanks still won, they took it without Tory. 5-star shorty, we ain't never been defeated. And I always stay fly like a fly frequent. I ain't nothing but a crown holder. We get it poppin' like a Thursday at my Moses. I bring the Bronx, Brooklyn, Queens, and Harlem out. Grab pics, LG, and street corner out. I got swag, nigga, use yours. Even out of town, they playin' that song New York.
NY swag so fire, we did it 2 times. It's 2 times, y'all niggas gon' let my crew shine. Me and a few of my niggas be on the few grind. I know you plan on biting my swag, nigga, it's shoot time. My shit tight, Michelle Fife in the cats. Jackie joining the tracks, medium on the fat. Hit him in the drawer with the gun and I got his back too. To get my pockets looking like Eddie Murphy in the fat suit. It's kinda nutty how I want my wallet puffy like Biggs, man. I'm willing to deal with the problems they can't. On swag surfing, I'm swag swerving. Be a Blackberry curving, y'all niggas still chirping.
I'm on my NY shit, NY baby with my NY band. New York, New York, New York, New York. Let me take my suit jacket off real quick. NY swag. They think I'm new around here. Flawless. New York, New York, New York. Queens representative, forever I will always be. Isn't it evident my flow? 3 letters, OMG. What's that? Who am I? Let me introduce. I'm flawless, the jumper cables when tracks need a boost. Don't listen to rap, still a weak excuse. I'm a pop star, so they ask, what is he confused? No, just my alter ego has different views. I can walk the walk in sneakers and the shoes. I'm a problem, hazard, simple mathematics. I don't gotta add and divide to know your average. OC gave me the heat, so I'ma smash this. Hope you got insurance for beat to cover this damage.
I'm damaging every beat I'm giving. I'm at my peak with this lyric spitting, making it hotter than Hell's Kitchen. I'm swell spitting with these swagger flows. I'm steadily bagging hoes by the way the cuffs is on top of Zapatos. I'm never boring, keep the creek. I call it home until the morning. Conquistador and chicas until the people roaring. I'm steady warning if you ain't getting your swagger G. A little league pitching, I'm hitting like Don Mattingly. Creating casualties, casually cause calamities. Khaki gets cowards constantly catching themselves caffeine. And why Swagger Kings remix the New York swag release. Put a toe tag on the remix and why Swagger be word.
Damn, what happened to the track? Got 8 motherfuckers left casual in the back. I could do this a cappella, I don't even need a track. I'ma call my homie Nova, tell him bring the beat back. Funny how they act when you swag on zero. Get a couple mil, they approach like primo. Ladies made it hard like I'm Shaq on free throws. Now they see the chain and they on my beat, yo. Everybody mad, I'm on NY swag. Saying casuals this, saying casuals that. Homie, this is Michael May, I got casuals back. Cash told me tell the haters kisses NY ass. You ain't even gotta wonder who's bringing NY back from up under. Street corner motherfucker. If you need the proof, man, the proof is in the numbers.
All right, y'all. Welcome back to the Hear Me Out podcast in association with True Hall of Fame Builds. I'm your host, Michael May. Listen, y'all, we back. We are back. Wow. People, something was said today that can possibly set Diddy free. I'm going to say this again. Something was said today in court that can possibly set Diddy free. I commented on this live stream. Trent has to be professional. He's in the courtroom. I'm here with y'all. We ain't gonna waste no time. I want to dive right in. Let's peep this, y'all. Let's pay attention. Shout out to Trent out loud. Go subscribe to his channel. Let's rock and roll. Because now, if you guys notice, I stopped using a lot of other content creators because I noticed because of the views and the numbers, a lot of people had switched to the government side for the views and the clicks. So I have to minimize where we getting in. Trent is probably one. Trent and Sean G are probably like some of the last ones who are being non-biased. But I want y'all to hear this. Listen, y'all, because everybody's not reporting the full thing. Please listen.
Instructions start. The judge brings in the jury. He says, all right, jury, I'm going to charge you, and we are going to read the verdict sheet. Like I said earlier, the sheet is around 120 pages. I'm not going to go through that. I'm going to summarize it very quickly and tell you the things that stood out to me, okay? So the jury says, we're going to, you must consider all the evidence. You must consider closing arguments.
And I'm going to break this down because there are things that, you know, Trent can't, well, let me rephrase that. Ain't that he can't. Trent has an audience. Trent's not going to jeopardize his position, whatever the case may be. But I'm going to say what I need to say. I'm going to say what needs to be said, and it will be said. Listen up.
And take the law as, you must consider the closing argument. It's the end of the day, guys. You must consider all of the evidence and not the closing arguments. Take the law as I give it to you, not what the lawyers have told you. Because sometimes, you know, especially Mark Agnifilo, he got in trouble during his closing arguments. The judge is reminding him, you may have heard the lawyer say certain things on both sides, the prosecution side and the...
Now, I want to be clear. Please, y'all, pay a lot of attention because you're going to hear a lot of contradictions in this live stream. And I need you to pay attention, people. What the judge is doing is this. The judge is removing all responsibility from him, counsel, prosecution, the rats in the building, the roaches in the building that are in attendance. The judge is removing everything. Listen, the judge is removing everything. He don't want no mas. He don't want no smoke. Listen to this, y'all.
The defense side, the judge reminded the jury at the beginning, When you go into jury deliberations, you're not to think about anything you said in closing arguments, or you can think about it, but that's not what you're supposed to make your decision on. You must take into account all the evidence and take the law as I give it to you, not the lawyers. As of now, you guys are the judges. You determine the truth and the credibility of the witnesses that you heard on the stand. Prior to this moment, it was the lawyers and the judge asking and directing the witnesses. The judge told the jury today, it is now your turn. You are in control. This is your courtroom. You are judge, jury, and everything. You guys look at the witness testimony and you determine if they are credible. You determine what you want to believe from their testimony. I thought that was pretty powerful. He said, what the lawyers have said to you are not evidence. What the lawyers said is not evidence. It's the testimony that is evidence. Only the answers that the people on the witness stand gave are evidence. Not what the lawyers asked, not anything else you heard. The answers from the witnesses is evident.
Now, I want to say this. Like earlier when I reported to you guys that they were saying one of the jurors was giving them a hard time. People, welcome to America. Welcome to America. Welcome to the country that says you are allowed to be judged by your peers. Welcome to America. Welcome. I told you earlier, before I even heard this right here, y'all, I told y'all earlier, if juror 25 walked into the jury room like, Diddy innocent, change my mind, that is their right. You cannot take away a juror's right to believe what they want to believe. You people, if I sat in the courtroom for 5 to 6 weeks and I heard all I needed to hear, and the minute we going back into the room to come up with this verdict, I'm like, Diddy innocent, change my mind. So people were complaining earlier about this juror. Oh, this juror not participating. That is their right. You can't kick a juror off because a juror has a stance. You can't do that. Well, they're not willing to play ball. And Diddy innocent, change my mind. This is people. They had to sit in the courtroom for X amount of time. You can't tell them how they feel. Let's keep listening, though.
That was as evidence. I thought that was very important.
That's powerful. Right, because it's up to the jurors now. It's solely in their hands.
Defendant Sean Diddy Combs pled not guilty. He is innocent until proven guilty. You must not think because he did not take the stand that he is guilty. He is innocent until proven guilty. He has a right not to put up any witnesses. He has a right not to take the stand. And this is the United States of America. Sean Diddy Combs is innocent. He is an innocent man until proven guilty. The burden.
Now, we all know in the court of law, he's innocent until proven guilty. But in the court of public opinion, most people want to say Diddy is guilty until proven innocent. This is the reason why. Hear me, y'all. This is the reason why most people's names get tarnished. Because the court of public opinion, they're gonna claim you as guilty until proven innocent, which is dumb. But this is why I always tell you guys, you shouldn't care what people think about you. You really shouldn't.
Of proof falls upon the government. The government even did their due diligence, and in their closing arguments, they said the burden of proof falls on us, and we will take that responsibility. Okay.
Good.
He also went on to explain what is reasonable doubt. He says reasonable doubt is a doubt that you have, but not
Hit the like button, y'all.
All doubt, but reasonable doubt. He was saying that it's impossible to ever like 0-0 have no doubt, but he's mainly trying to say beyond a reasonable doubt, beyond a reasonable doubt. It's impossible, and I like that he accentuated this because that didn't even click to me when you say beyond a reasonable doubt, because anything that somebody says, you might have like a 1.11%. That's not what he's saying, not that doubt. He's saying beyond a reasonable doubt. It has to be reasonable that you doubt it, and the prosecution has to show you beyond that. I thought that was very important.
Now, you heard what he's saying. I want you guys to understand something. This is where a person's intellect is going to show. This is where somebody's brain is allowed to do what it may. Do what thou will.
That he pointed that out. He also pointed out the two types of evidence that you see in this case. I've talked to you guys about this before. Direct evidence, where direct evidence is videotape or audio. That's video. That's direct evidence. And also, he said that testimony is also direct evidence. Now, circumstantial evidence, he broke down, which I thought was really cool. And he said, what circumstantial evidence is logic of fact. Let me give you an exact example. He said, if you are outside, let's say right now, and you're walking into this courtroom, and it's sunny outside. You go inside the courtroom, the blinds are closed, you cannot see outside. When you came outside, it was sunny. Now, as people are coming in the courtroom, the first guy comes in with an umbrella and he's shaking it off, and you see water as if it was raining outside. Then the next guy comes in, and the next girl comes in, and she has a rain jacket from outside, and she's soaking wet. You cannot see outside, but because the last two people that came from outside is soaking wet, circumstantial evidence could lead you to believe that it's raining outside, even though you didn't see it. Direct evidence would be you seeing that it's raining. Circumstantial evidence is not hearsay. It's just based on my own logic. Like, yeah, I know when I was outside, it was beautiful, it was sunshine, I was tanning. However, it's probably raining now because 2 or 3 people have come in soaking wet. So that is circumstantial evidence. I love that he cleared that up for people. He also went on to talk about the credibility of witnesses. He says it is now your job to judge their credibility. I thought this was super important that he pointed this out. He says, why they are, he said, it's up to you to determine their credibility. You are allowed to question, why are they testifying? You're allowed to size them up. You have to use your own common sense. Gosh, I wish this guy would turn off his car. It's literally like an engine blowing heat on me, man. Gosh. Sorry about that, guys. He said, use your own common sense. Again, he reminded them, you are the judge, jury here, and it's up to you to determine if a witness is credible. Use your common sense. Listen to this. He says, if there was any inconsistencies in the witness's statement, you have the right to reject their testimony. You have
Diddy's walking, y'all. Diddy's walking. People, the judge said listen again.
He was saying
that's why my post says freed. Free Diddy. Free Diddy.
that
listen again.
Impossible to ever 0-0 have no doubt, but he's mainly trying to say, then the next guy comes in, and the next girl comes in, and he said, it's up to you to determine their credibility. You are allowed to question, why are they testifying? You're allowed to size them up. You have to use your own common sense. Gosh, I wish this guy would turn.
Now, why is somebody testifying? People, listen, I'm going to say this again. I'm going to say this. Listen, you're going to hear Trent. Now, Trent, I'm sorry, Trent. If you're watching, forgive me. You wasn't, Trent, I've been watching you for at least since week 2. You haven't been, I'm going to go back and check. I'm going to go back and check. But you haven't been saying certain things since the beginning of the trial. So I I'm just gonna call cap until. So you're innocent until proven guilty, but hear me. I told you guys this. From week 1, I said, how is there a RICO case where only one person is going down? That alone would make me judge every single testimony that went on that stand. Everybody up there is getting immunity as long as Diddy goes down. I don't trust none of you. I wouldn't trust none of you. If you were there from the beginning, you heard me say that. I said, how is there a one-man RICO case? I wouldn't trust nobody that took the stand against Diddy. No one. Because everybody's getting a deal. That automatically... So if you're getting a deal, that means to tell me that you're just as guilty as him. If there's really something that's going on. Right? Right. I've been saying this from the beginning. Let's keep going though. Let's keep going.
His car, it's literally like an engine blowing heat on me, man. Gosh. Sorry about that, guys. He said, use your own common sense. Again, he reminded them, you are the judge, jury here, and it's up to you to determine if a witness is credible. Use your common sense. Listen to this. He says, if there was any inconsistencies in the witness's statement, you have the right to reject their testimony. You have a right to question their motive, and you have a right to question belief in their testimony. Now, I'm not going to point anything out to you guys, but there has been witnesses on the witness stand that have not been 100% accurate. And
okay, I will. Let me do that. Trent, I got you. Trent, you stay neutral. I got you. Let's start from the beginning. People, listen to me. I'm going to say this again. Anybody who has had to sit in the courtroom from the beginning, Cassie is not a victim. Cassie is not a victim. Cassie has been, it came out that Diddy told Cassie in 2015 he didn't want to do no more freak-offs, and she said, no. I want this to be the first freak-offs of many for the rest of our life. You're out of here, buddy. Then you claim to your husband that you was great. And then a month later, you went back and had consensual intercourse with Diddy. I'm throwing your whole shit out the window. Then, to find out that in the beginning of the relationship, you was the one putting hands on Diddy. You were the one putting hands on Diddy first. And then now when Diddy retaliated, he's a monster. He's the worst thing on planet Earth. You see, Cassie's whole thing, I'm throwing it in the garbage. I'm taking the whole thing and I'm throwing it in the garbage. Let's keep going down the line, right? Shall we? Let's go. Kid Cudi. Kid Cudi was he said, she said. Kid Cudi was like, Kid Cudi didn't come with no groundbreaking. It was, well, I believe that he did something. We're not here for what you believe. In court is not what you know, it's what you can prove. And the bad part about throw Cudi's whole thing in the garbage. When Diddy's team said, are you aware that the forensics found that the DNA at the site was of a female? He's like, huh? He's like, yeah, of a woman. Did you not know? Looked over at the prosecution and said, no further questions, Your Honor. Throw his whole shit in the garbage. People, they were inconsistent. Listen to me. Listen to me. Because he can't break this down. I can. Listen. The Danity Kane chick, Dawn, throw that whole shit in the garbage. She was a waste. She was a waste. Straight waste. Now, Kappa Clarkson, whatever her name is, She was in love with Diddy. She was in love with Diddy. And clearly, everybody made Cassie look like a liar. Cassie Clark, whatever. Or he napped me. He napped me. He midnapped me. Stopped it. Get out of here. But then you went for 5 days straight. Take a lie to take the test. Get out of here. Every now and again, Diddy was digging you down. Get out of here. Get out. Bye. Bye. Ready? Cassie's best friend. Get her out of here. You wouldn't understand and made your girlfriend look silly. You made your girlfriend look like a total dodo head. You came and said, yeah, me and Cassie, we did drugs even when Diddy wasn't there. Out of here. You asked Cassie, why didn't she leave Diddy? Because then I'm going to lose everything. I'm going to lose my house and my cars and my this and my that and my this. So you couldn't go home and start over again? So you mean to tell me that your lifestyle, the lifestyle was more important to you than your health, than your actual life? The money meant more to you than your life? Get out of here. Bye. Now, the beluga chick, lies. Get her out of here. We're not even going to talk about Jane Doe. She was a prosti. She was a straight thot. Straight up, her girlfriend was messing with Diddy. She picked up the sloppy seconds. She got mad because she never got up. Then she negotiated her own salary for every month. Stop it. People, I want y'all guys to understand. But the worst, for me still to this day, the worst person was the security guard. The worst person was the security guard. Bribery. How is it bribery? Diddy didn't offer no money. He didn't say nothing. He didn't put a tag on it. The security said, I got to speak to my boss. My boss said, 50,000. Diddy gave him 100. There was no bribery. Then we don't know. And then the security guy spoke to Cassie and she said, yeah, Papa, we need that tape discarded because I got movies coming out and all that. So it looked like Diddy hit them because he's protecting his woman. Why? Because let's not forget. Diddy, we all heard the video. Where's the video that you saw? I will kill you. I will ill you. Remember when Cassie said that to somebody? She's like, and I ain't gonna do it. I'm gonna have somebody get rid of you. Remember? Not innocent. Throw him out. Whoever was the guy on the feds, the marshals, the PD, the fire department, the Coast Guard, the Army, whoever was the guy and responsible for the searches, fire him. Listen to me. If any of his bosses are watching, get rid of this rookie. Because they asked him all the questions. Where did you find the GUNs? I don't know. Don't they report to you? Yes. So did you find any GUNs in Diddy's house? No. In his bedroom? No. In the kitchen? No. In the bathroom? No. Were they in the security house where security is at that gets paid to protect Diddy? Yes. So the guns are where they would rightfully be, right? Yes. Were they in the safe when you got there or they're out the safe? I don't know. Throw the whole shit in the people. There were holes in everybody's testimony. And here's my favorite. My new favorite one now. My new favorite one, y'all. I got a new favorite testimony that I love. The mule. The mule. Hit the like button, y'all. The mule. The Pablo Escobar of Diddy's enterprise. We're gonna call him Pablo. Pablo, were you a mule? No. You sure? Well, all over the news, they've been saying next week, the mule is coming up to take down Diddy, so you're the mule. How many keys of cocaine? How many packs of heroin? How many crystal meths did you deliver to the nigga from Breaking Bad? How many? Oh, what's the name? What was his name in Breaking Bad, Job? What was his name in Breaking Bad? What was his name? Give me his name. What was his name? The drug dealer nigga. Heisenberg. How many pounds of crystal did you deliver to Heisenberg? Were you a distributor for Heisenberg himself? Let me know. Pollo Loco. Were you there? Do you know how to create the blue? Were you there? Did you ever meet Jesse in person? Talk to me. Talk to me now. Talk to me nicely. You see what I'm saying? Like, this is where things get interesting, because the mule deliberately said, I'm not a mule. Let's keep listening. So there is holes in everybody's story. So for people to get mad that there is a juror in there who just straight walked into the room like, Diddy innocent, moving on, he innocent on all counts, get out of here. This is the judge. That's what the judge gave them power of, to make their own decisions. Let's keep going.
And there have been some inconsistencies. The judge is telling the jury right now that they have a right to question it or even throw out their entire statement based on that. It's the jury's job to determine the credibility of a witness. I hope it's not going to rain. Another thing, he says, an indictment is not, this is on Diddy's side, just because Diddy, you can go ahead and walk, don't worry, it's still, I don't have a permit, I don't own a sidewalk. No, I appreciate you, thank you so much. All right, have a great day. All right, so he said now, if somebody is indicted, i.e. Sean Diddy Combs, that does not mean that you should automatically think he is guilty. Again, I would like to remind you, he is innocent until proven guilty, even though that he has an indictment. You cannot use his indictment against him. Really, really powerful.
Yep.
You must return a verdict on each count separately. So you can't say, yeah, he's guilty. It's got to be on RICO. It's got to be on
not
everything.
yet.
Ooh, it is going to rain. I can feel it.
Y'all gonna hear some things in this live stream, y'all. Y'all gonna be like, oh my gosh. People, I'm hoping that at least by Thursday they got something. By Wednesday afternoon they got something. But listen, the judge was not playing. Listen.
You must return a verdict on each count separately. All right, now he goes on to break down RICO, which I'm not gonna do too much for you guys, because I'm sure everybody pretty much knows after all these weeks you know about RICO. But there's one big thing in RICO that I really want to tell you guys about. You'll be able to tell your family and friends. I bet you a lot of people don't know this, okay? So he said, in RICO, yes, there's predicate acts and charges, but he is charged with a RICO conspiracy. So
listen, he said, tell your family and friends, people, pay attention. Pay attention.
Even though you find the predicate acts that he might be found guilty, you also must find that he conspired together with at least one other person to commit these predicate acts. It can't just be him on his own. So did he conspire?
So it can't be him on his own, but him on his own, he's going down for a RICO. Make it make sense, people. I want y'all. Make it make sense, people. Make it make sense.
To do it with another person. Now, here is what I find really huge, okay? I'm going to run down the predicate acts for you. The K word, taking somebody, arson, bribery, and just to point out bribery, bribery is a witness that is about to testify for law enforcement, if no law enforcement or no, it's not a judge or it's not a police officer or whatever, it's not bribery. It's bribery when somebody is about to testify against you. If the police are called, if there's an open case, that is bribery. If it's just like what Diddy did, the judge is basically indirectly saying that this is probably not bribery, but he's saying, hey, somebody just, wants to buy a tape from somebody because they're a public image. If there's no case, there's no law enforcement, whatever, it's not bribery.
So what are we doing here? What are we doing here? People, I told you, that's why I used the Wolf of Wall Street. Because law enforcement was involved when he said, I heard you wanted to become a broker. He was like, and the Fed was like, who you been talking to? He goes, nah, I got my sources. No, who you been talking to? He goes, no, somebody told me that you were looking to get your broker's license a few years back. And he goes, yeah, it didn't really pan out. He goes, I tend to like to help people. I know stocks that can help you definitely get anywhere north of like 2 million. Anywhere north of 2 million. See, there was no specific amount. And you heard him say, oh, okay. He looked at the officer and said, can you say it again? Just like that. He looked up, he was like, nah. He goes, you just try to bribe an officer. He said, no, I know the law. You have to have an exact number, and I did not give it to you. You see, and they are law enforcement people. Diddy saying, yo, Playboy, I need you to get rid of that tape, Playboy. You heard? Take that. You know what I'm saying? And yeah, I'm going to take care of you, Playboy. That's not bribery. Then I told you, the security said, yo, now if the security, but it's still, there was no law enforcement. But he went to his boss, which is over him, said 50,000. The judge literally said, this is not bribery. I'm going to say this again, people. Free Diddy. Free Diddy. Let's keep rocking.
They talked about witness tampering, forced labor, SEX trafficking, transportation, and the other one, women. Transportation of women selling themselves, and the last one, distribution of DRUGs. Now, that is the 8 predicate acts.
Listen. Y'all been people on week 4 when people were like, they finally proved RICO. Diddy's going down, baby. Everybody that hate Diddy, yes, they proved RICO. They proved it. So I'm like, oh shit, I gotta go look and see. I'm listening, I'm like, is this what they using for RICO? People, nobody said it before me. No content creator said it before me. All you heard was Tisa, Simone. You heard Wiggins. You heard all these content creators saying, aside from Sean G on the second day, I damn sure didn't hear from Trent. Them proving RICO. A group of people, remember, moving together with the mission to protect the image of the top, which is Diddy, JP Morgan, McDonald's, Kennedy Fried Chicken, NYU, Harvard, the presidency, every company in the world is guilty of RICO. I was the first person that said, and people, y'all see my comment section. People are like, are you stupid? What are you talking about? That's RICO. I'm like, the president of the United States. The presidency is a RICO then. JP Morgan is a RICO. McDonald's is a RICO. How does that make sense? Because every single company has a fucking mission statement. Every company's job, they're going to do whatever it takes to protect the image of the corporation. What are we doing here? Let's keep listening.
Before I tell you the thing that I found out, I just like to point out, a lot of people thought the K word wasn't going to be in there. Remember last week, oh, they're going to drop some things. Just a reminder, they did not drop anything in RICO, or they did not drop RICO. The K word is still there, arson is still there, bribery is still there. Last week, there was an attempted K word and an attempted arson and attempted bribery. That is gone. All the 8 predicate acts are still under RICO. Now, here is the bombshell that I found out today. Maybe some of you might knew. I thought that each juror had to find 2 of their own. And then once, let's say if all 12 found their own 2, that would be enough to convict them of RICO.
Listen.
I'll give you an example. Let's say I thought it was arson and bribery that he was guilty of. Okay, that's my 2. Then, you know, John's 2 would be witness tampering and forced labor. And then juror number 3 would be SCX trafficking and DRUG. So as long as we all 12 jurors picked 2, that would be enough to convict them of RICO. Oh no, mon frere. It goes deeper than that. All 12 jurors need to agree on the 2 that they're picking. So if it's, let's say, arson, all 12 need to agree that arson. And
that's crazy. That's crazy. That is beyond a reasonable doubt. That is crazy. People, I don't even... He said, bro looks totally different when not in game mode. I hear you. Hear me, y'all. I don't know 3 people that agree on everything. I could put any 3 of the most intelligent people I know in a room, and we would not agree on everything. So they're saying they have to pick 2 that all 12 jurors unanimously agree on. That's not going to happen. It's not going to happen. That's not going to happen. That's not going to happen. That is impossible. That is impossible. Shit, I hardly agree with everything with my wife. So you're going to put me in a room with 12 strangers from 12 different walks of life, and we all have to agree on 2 of the same things unanimously? Absolutely the fuck not. This is crazy. What kind of... But you know what? Hey, this is what the prosecution asked for. The prosecution asked for this. Hey, this is what they asked for. They all submitted their rules. This is what they asked for. It's not me, Papa. It's not me, okay? I know involved. I'm minding my business. I know say nothing, Papa. I'm from the 5th floor. Papa, I know say nothing, okay? I don't know nothing, yo no sé nada. And that's it. It's crazy. People, There is a juror, number 25, that straight walked into the room. They closed the doors. Diddy's innocent. Changed my mind. Oh, and then they're writing letters. Oh, juror 25 is not participating. They are. They don't think that Diddy's guilty on anything. This is my stance. And they have the right. Prove me wrong, dogs. Diddy innocent. Next court case, please. I'm not mad. I'm not. People, when it comes to the courts, you can't let your other peers sway you. He goes, these are all adults we are talking about here, right? These are all adults. If I feel they didn't prove shit to me, guess what? They ain't proved shit to me. Change my mind. People, you can't complain about an adult that is a regular hard-working person, and you expect a regular hard-working person to put the hammer down on some shit that half of these chicks were willing to do. Chicks would throw pussy at Diddy just to be next to Diddy. The fuck out of here. Let's keep listening though.
And as you guys know with RICO, you need to find 2. So it will have to be all 12 agrees on arson and all 12 agree on bribery. And if all 12 agree on 2, then he is charged with RICO. If you ask me, that makes it even harder to convict them on RICO because, yes, you have to...
Based on the rules, Diddy is not guilty. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
And I know there's 8, but they all have to agree on the 2. They can't just pick their 2 own. So,
but it gets worse. Listen, y'all.
Said I already knew that.
Don't go nowhere. Hold up. It gets worse.
Correct. They all don't need to agree. Excuse me, Karen. Totally respect you, but this is not an opinion. This is fact. They must agree on the 2. You can't find 2 people that agree on these charges. Well, that is what the that is what the judge's instructions are. This is not an opinion. Y'all know I like to give everybody the benefit of the doubt. Hey, I agree on your...
And I understand why the judge is taking this route. Cause people, a RICO charge is an automatic life sentence. So if this was a civil case, it's different. This is a RICO. So everybody has to say, yup, I agree. And you already got one person saying he's innocent. So automatically, everybody ain't gonna agree. Listen.
Your opinion. This is fact, people. This is fact, and I also confirmed it with a lawyer. I checked this out or whatever. Under the RICO Act, to find Sean Diddy Combs or anybody convicted, the jury of 12 need to agree. He said nobody died, of the predicate acts. It can't just be I chose 2, you chose 2. Oh, we each have 2, Your Honor. No, it doesn't work like that. You have to agree on the 2. To me, that pushes RICO further down the hill, personally. And again, just to remind you guys, I'm not on anybody's side here. It doesn't matter to me. I'm literally just here to give you guys the information and for you guys to tell me how you feel about it, okay? Boom. That is RICO. Then the judge said, okay, let me break down SCX trafficking, which I'm not going to. You guys already know SCX trafficking. So that's count 2 and count 4. SCX trafficking, force, fraud, or coercion. Cassie from 2009 till 2018. Jane from 2021 to 2024. Now, a couple of things that we said already. This shouldn't come as a surprise. These are each separately. It doesn't mean that they have to find Jane and Cassie together. They could find Jane not guilty for SCX trafficking under force, fraud, and coercion, and you could just find Cassie guilty. You could find both not guilty, both guilty, or one of the other. It's all separate, okay? Cassie is count 2, Jane is count 4. And I also like to remind you guys,
I'm gonna say this again. Cassie was Diddy's woman. Jane Doe was Diddy's side piece. If Cassie's testimony is thrown out, Jane Doe's automatically thrown out. Because you can't convict me. I don't see where you're going to convict me because I like doing freaky shit with my partner. Because I'm a swinger and I'm swinging with my partner. Who the fuck are you to tell me what to do in my bedroom? If I want to sit there and my wife want to see me dicking down another woman, who the fuck are you to tell me that I'm wrong? Yes. Listen, before you complain about your mother, I always tell you what to do, right? Yeah. Okay. What are you coming in here crying for? Mama, no. No, shit. Don't say mama nothing. What are you coming in here complaining for? Mama. Hey, I need you to find something else. Because you don't complain about mommy. I already told you that. Right? Yeah. Right? Okay, good. So we have an understanding. Anything else you want to complain about? Hey. Do you have anything else besides mommy? No? No. Say no. No. Okay, give me a kiss. Give me a kiss. Give me a kiss. Now go. Happy Mom. Yeah, I don't let him. I do not let him play them games. We don't play them games. You don't come here complaining about your mom. Appreciate that. Yeah, man, I don't play them silly games. Mommy, stop. I'm sorry, y'all. Some of y'all may agree or disagree. That's just the way I do things. I don't play those games. And she does the same thing. We don't play those games here. You know what I'm saying? We're the parents. You're not going to put nobody against each other. We're not doing that. We're not doing it. Appreciate that, man. Real talk. Thank you so much.
That they only have to find that he was guilty of doing this one time. So that means in the span of 10 years that Cassie and Diddy were doing freak-offs, let's say they did 500 freak-offs, they only have to find one time out of that 9 years that he forced, fraud, or coerced her to do SCX trafficking.
But I hope it also counts. I hope it also counts for Diddy. Because there is at least one time between Cassie and Jane Doe where Diddy said, I don't want to do the freak-offs no more. Does that count? Does that count? Does Diddy saying, I don't want to do the freak-offs, will that count for Diddy's side or no? See what I'm saying? I hope that they taking that into account too, but let's keep listening.
And like I said, I don't take credit for this, but one of my fellow YouTubers put this analogy to me, and it makes total sense. If somebody said to you that they unalived only one person in 9 years, you know, I came close, I did all this stuff, but in 9 years I only unalived one person, you would still want them to go to jail, right? So you have.
I would want no, that's incorrect. I would want somebody to go to jail if you attempted it 9 times and only one time you were successful. No, that is different to unalive somebody. No, absolutely not.
Have to, you know, you cannot bring up the example of, oh, well, it was maybe one time he said something about this or one time. No, one time is too many. And again, I'm not saying he's guilty of it. I'm just saying if there was one time is too many, whether it be his girlfriend or not. All right, nice tattoos. So that is it with SCX trafficking separately and only one time. Now, charges 3 and 5 are transportation for, you know, the P word, which is selling yourself. Same thing. Cassie is charge number 3 from 2009 till 2018. Jane is 2021 to 2024. Same thing as above. Needs to be separate, not together. It's and or. And also, again, one time. You just have to prove that you traffic for transportation Cassie or Jane or somebody else across state lines one time. Y'all know that is the Mann Act. We don't need to talk about that. Again, separate. He could just be charged just Jane or just Cassie and not the trafficking and not RICO. So there is in total 5 different charges. He could beat all 5. He could get found guilty of all 5, or it could be a mix 1, 2, 3, or 5. Okay. One thing that we talked about this last week too, but just want to remind you guys, the venue means that at least one act must have happened in the Southern District of New York, meaning Manhattan, Bronx, and they said a couple of little like side districts, but that's already been proven. If you find any of the acts that he's guilty on, we all know that it happened here, okay? Now, I have a note after he read, I think that was it. Oh no, it's still going on further, but I put a note right here. So this is not good. Well, maybe it is good. I don't know how to read it. Y'all let me know. I put a note here. I said, I've never seen the jury this engaged. They were literally staring at the paper. And just to let you know that what the judge is reading all this, again, I'm just summarizing it. For him, it was 100 pages. But they didn't, he gave them a printout on their chair. And I was expecting them to just like take the printout, like roll it around, because this jury is tired and they were just really not into it for the past couple of weeks. Every single juror, even the alternates, were like, yeah, okay, RICO, and this jury was engaged. It was very, very smart. Again, like I said, I don't know for what side this benefits, but it was very, very smart of the judge to let the weekend pass, let everybody get rested, let everybody kind of just get their bearings and start fresh on Monday morning, because the jury was super engaged and listening to every single thing the judge was saying, okay, super engaged. All right, there's a couple of other things before the jury sheet that I thought was important. He said, when it comes to expert witnesses, you are the expert. Just because Don told you something. By the way, guys, it's 6 p.m. for those of you who follow this afternoon live. It's 6 p.m. The rat is going to run out between now and 7. Let's see if it happens, all right? We give him 1 hour. He has come out every single live. I'm watching. There's a couple of birds, a couple of whatever. I'm sure he's going to run out at some point. I keep calling it a him. Maybe it's a him or her. Who knows? Anyways, talking about expert witness. That was a leaf. Now I'm all like, I'm on alert now. Yeah, he likes me. You and that rat, exactly. All right, okay. Don't let me think about it, because now the leaves are blowing, the birds, and I'm like, yo, it's him. I will know he is way bigger than these little sparrow birds.
Yeah, the rats in
witness expert.
The rats in New York City, y'all, be like this. The rats be like a subway, like a subway hero. Like the rats look like cats in New York.
He told the jury, they might be expert witnesses. However, you are the witnesses. No, not you. Oh, he just ran across. I swear to you, he just ran across. Yo, this guy can hear me, yo.
Same in Panama.
My
wow,
gosh.
I haven't been there in years.
Yo, this guy could speak English. He understands English.
Damn, bro, Panama.
He was a little bit further away. Yo.
Dope.
I'm shook now, yo. Yo, suppose he like really likes me and like wants to hear my lives and wants to come
from
closer,
Houston, nice.
to me. Oh my gosh, I hate rats. Anyways, okay. Yo, this rat understands English, yo. I'm super shook right now. Anyways, let me get back to this. All right, sorry guys. Okay, you're the expert witnesses. Gotcha. Yes, they might have experts in front of their name, but you are the experts. You do not have to listen to expert witnesses, okay? Another thing they said, law enforcement, a couple of law enforcement agents testified. You guys are laughing at my rat, aren't you? Yeah, I gotta get back to work.
Listen to this, y'all.
Law enforcement agents, just because they are cops doesn't mean anything. Picture Perfect sent me a super chat. Thank you so much. Let me heart that. Thank you very much. For RICO, the jurors can unanimously agree on one predicate act that happens more than once. That satisfied 2 predicate acts. 100%. We told you guys about that last week. It could be 2 DRUGs. It could be 2 arsons. It could be 2 K words. It could be 2. The point is, they all have to agree on the 2. So it could be 1 5 times, that's enough for RICO, which I think is crazy, but hey, the law is the law. I don't write the law, but as long as it could be 5 DRUGs, it could be 5 K words. The point is that they all 12 have to agree. It can't be one thinks the DRUG happened 5 times and somebody else thinks it's the K word. They have to agree on that. But thank you very much for the super chat. Okay, so just because you see a law enforcement officer testifying doesn't mean anything. You take his testimony as if anybody would be testifying. Listen to this, y'all. I thought this was really interesting. Witnesses that testified under immunity. Jane, Brendan Paul, was Mia given immunity? Anyways, whoever tested under immunity, he said, you have a right to examine their testimony that much more carefully because they have a motive to be up there. You can question.
Somebody get me the key to Diddy's cell, please. Somebody get me the key to Diddy's cell. Let me go over there and open up the gates myself. People, what are we doing here? What are we doing here? What are we doing here? We get to judge. Everybody says, everybody got immunity. No wonder there's a jury in there like that nigga innocent. No wonder. There's no wonder there's a jury in there who's like, yo, Diddy free. No wonder. And they're wondering why. Why this jury? Why is this one jury not wanting to participate? Because they feel like everybody who understands was bullshit. Nobody believes this man is a criminal. Get out of here. So hold on. So I'm allowed to judge a person's situation, depending whether the deal they got immunity. I'm allowed to judge their holes in their testimony, and then people want to sit here and say, but we gotta negotiate. If I personally feel they lucky I'm not on the jury, y'all. They lucky. I would have sat here the whole time mad quiet like this, so I would have been like, I would have waited. Once that door closed, I would have said, look, so, Diddy's innocent. I'm going to go tell the judge. We all unanimously agree. I'm going to get the keys. I'm going to let Diddy out myself. Y'all with me or what? What we doing? There is nothing here, y'all.
That you can question the fact that they have a motive to be up there, and you can look at their testimony sideways. Thought that was really important. He also said there was a lot of evidence through raids. The judge says you could. Thank you, Stacy Ballard, for the super chat. Appreciate you. He said any evidence that was taken up from raids, you can trust it. He also said charts and summaries, these are not evidence, but they are circumstantial as evidence, meaning that you can't just take the summary, you have to take the details that are in the summary. That's just being technical. He said the people that testified under pseudonyms, Jane, Mia, who else testified under? Anyways, anybody that testified under a pseudonym, you cannot judge them for that. Just because Jane testified under Jane, you can't throw out her testimony just because she decided that she wanted to testify under immunity. Once again, he reiterated that the defense right not to testify does not mean that he is guilty. He is innocent until proven guilty. They talked about, guys, be careful because there's a rat underneath that car right there. Just
he nervous about the rat.
He just ran out like 5 minutes ago and he's chilling. So yeah, take your son from there. Trust.
He nervous. He nervous. The master splinter.
So he also talked about people being intoxicated. He says you could determine that they did not intend to do something, i.e. Diddy, if he was under intoxication, with an asterisk beside it. And he said that applies to RICO, the K word, bribery, witness tampering, forced labor, transportation, and DRUG. G's. Okay, we've already talked about that.
Free
You guys
Diddy.
know about that. The Diddy's defense team got that in. Hey, if you were, under the influence, if you're intoxicated, then the intent is taken away. But what the prosecution talked about that is really we've been talking about through 2009 till 2018. Are trying to tell me that you were under the influence for the whole entire 9 years? Yes, maybe at night you were, but the day when you were planning everything, you're not. So, but the jury instruction is
Right. During the daytime, when Cassie planning this stuff, when Jane Doe is planning this stuff, they sober. Hey, you making grown up decisions here.
is you can take that intoxication into consideration. Then he gave them the deliberation instructions. He said, do not show your notes to anybody. If you need transcripts, let us know. We will tell you. You cannot search anything online. You cannot watch the Trent Out Loud show. You cannot consult the dictionary. No information from outside. You cannot ask your friends. You cannot ask your family. You cannot go on social media to look for information. Tanya Ike, I think it's Ike. Thank you very much for the super chat. Appreciate y'all. I love y'all super chats, yo. I need some snacks and dinner. And he listed social media. He said you cannot go on YouTube. You cannot go on Snapchat. You cannot go on TikTok. You cannot go on Instagram. He listed all the social sites. He said, if you are aware of any jury doing anything that I said above, please come and tell me. He says, don't approach the juror and tell them that you're telling me. He said, literally come and tell me and I will handle it. All right, we have a couple more before we get to the jury sheet. He said, do not judge the defendant on the fact that he's a man or a woman. Do not judge him on his color. Do not have any feelings towards him. Basically, do not feel sorry for him. Don't look and say, oh, he has kids, or he's a black man, or he's a man, or he's a woman. You need to judge this based on law. Look at the facts, look at the evidence.
Yeah.
Do not bring any of that into consideration at all. You are not allowed to have any personal likes or dislikes. Hilda Smith, thank you so much for the super chat. Love that, thank you. True Hall of Fame builds. I react to all your videos.
There you go.
Said this explanation, Diddy will walk free. Thank you. All right, that's you saying that, not me.
There you go.
The super chat.
Yeah, listen, like I always tell y'all, I support my coworkers, y'all. I be super chatting. I support my coworkers, no matter what the amount is. People, I want y'all guys to understand. If you're trying to be a content creator, hit the like button. See, because you want somebody to hit the like button for you. You want somebody to super chat you. You want somebody to support you. But you don't want to support nobody. That makes no sense. That makes no sense. But that's neither here nor there. I always tell everybody, the same people you see on your way up are the same people you see on your way down. That's why I like to treat everybody fairly, because I promise you this. I'm going to zip past a lot of your favorite content creators, and you guys better get ready. Y'all better get ready.
All right, so you must not use your likes and dislikes towards the defendant.
I want y'all to hear one thing that's important real
must be
fast.
based solely on the evidence. Do not surrender your
Before I let y'all
verdict.
go, hold up.
Do not surrender your verdict stand by choice. So what he's saying, Vanessa with a super chat. Wow, y'all are really looking out for me today, yo. Officially new out louder. Very impressed with your passion and thoughtfulness throughout the trial. Keep up the amazing work. Wow, Vanessa, thank you so much for the super chat. Love that. Thank you so much. I really use your super chats on snacks and stuff. It really gets me through. I love y'all, yo. Hold on, let me take a little water. So listen to this about surrendering. He said, do not surrender your verdict. Stand by your choice. What does that mean? Do not say, man, I want to vote not guilty. Don't have anybody pressure you. Yes, can you discuss? Can you deliberate? 1000%. But if you feel like he is not guilty, do not Do not let that stance go. Stand
Right.
by your side.
Right.
Do not let anybody intimidate you. Don't let anybody feel any way. Same way, if you feel like he's guilty, don't let the time, don't let 4th of July. No, stand your ground. Talk amongst yourselves, but stand your ground. If you feel like you have something, nobody can change your mind. Nobody, not me, not the prosecution, nor the defense.
Yep. Facts.
Then he got to the last thing, which is, I could tell he felt bad and felt a little sad. He's still underneath the car.
He's scared of the rat, y'all. He's scared. He's scared of Master Splinter.
If he comes any closer, I'm moving, yo. So you can tell he felt a little sad. He goes, okay, unfortunately, at this time, the alternate jurors will not be able to deliberate with their team. They will be fully let go and sent home. Why I feel like he felt sad doing this is, yo, these alternate jurors were here every day through boredom, through excitement, through rain, through sun, through whatever. And then they were like, sorry, time for deliberation. You guys are not allowed in the room because you're not real jurors. You're alternates. Go home. Imagine sitting through the Diddy trial for like 7-8 weeks. And then you're like, thanks, guys. You made it. Go home. But on your way home, you still cannot talk. Oh, 2176
Right.
Julie, thank you so much for the super chat. Y'all keep these super chats going. Bam, 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 bam. He said, although that you are relieved of your duty, you're not fully relieved. Do not talk to anybody. Don't talk to your family. Don't talk to whatever. Do not go on Instagram. Don't do anything, because even though the jury is in deliberation, something could happen with one of the jurors and you might be asked to come back. So I thought that was kind of a little bit unfair, where it's like, you spent all this time. Thanks a lot.
That is true.
You only needed one of y'all. The rest of y'all go home, but you still can't look up. You're telling me you think those alternate jurors are not at home now looking up?
That is true. That is true. That's kind of wild, messed up that the extra jurors got to sit there, and now they got to go home and they still can't talk about it. That's tough. That's tough. They can't talk about it. They can't look it up. They can't watch me, True Hall of Fame. They can't do nothing. It's tough.
Everything. I feel like they already had been anyways, but for sure now they're like, what? 8 weeks? I didn't even get to go on this? I'm out of here, yo. Anyways, so that was it with jury instructions, okay? Like I said, I wanted to sum it up for you guys quickly, not to take up too much of your time. Now, the verdict sheet, which I thought was surprisingly a little simple. Listen to this. This is the verdict sheet that they will.
This is the last thing, y'all. I want y'all to listen to the verdict sheet. Please listen. Please listen before I let y'all go.
Have to check off to help them get through their thoughts, right? So first count one is RICO, guilty or not guilty, and then they listed the K word, arson, bribery, witness tampering, forced labor, SEX trafficking, transportation, and DRUG. And under this RICO Act, they want to know if the Cassie charge was included in the SEX trafficking, or the Jane was included in the SEX trafficking or transportation. Because transportation, there were other people. So they want to know if Jane or Cassie was included in this RICO Act. Then count two is Cassie, SEX trafficking under force, fraud, or coercion. Simple, guilty, not guilty. And then Cassie, transportation, guilty, not guilty. Same thing with Jane. SEX trafficking, force, fraud, or coercion, or all three, guilty or not guilty. Jane, trafficking, guilty, not guilty. Boom, that's the verdict sheet. Very, very simple. He also said, which is really important, sucks for me, but just got to tell y'all. So as of, well, today, the jury will have to show up at 9 o'clock. Of course, we'll have to show up at 9 o'clock as well, too. And they'll be set to go till 5. Before, during the trial, they'll let them go home at 3. But now it will be 9 to 5. But the jury can decide how long they really want to stay. So if, let's say, they're at 5 o'clock and they're in like a good conversation and I feel like they might be close, they could unanimously decide, like, yo, we want to stay today till 8 o'clock. They have to buy them food, they got to take care of them, but they might stay some nights till 8, 9 o'clock if they feel like they're getting close. So yes, it sucks for me because I got to wait till they come out to tell you guys anything. But the positive in that is, let's say, for example, like Tuesday, tomorrow, they feel like they might be close. I would rather them take a little two extra hours and give us a verdict, or let's say on Wednesday, and then we all get the Thursday and Friday off and we get a verdict, okay?
Right.
I am assuming, like I said today earlier, I think, and I have a lot more insight on this now, but I think we should probably get a verdict by Wednesday. Like I said today earlier, it's not really that complicated of a case. Mostly it's testimony. Mainly it's, do you believe Jane Cassie? Do you believe the government? Do you believe the prosecution? Like Mark's closing arguments, do you believe the prosecution side or do you believe the defense side? It shouldn't be that hard. Okay, so all of this was done by 11:30. Now, the jury was sent back to start deliberating. Like I said earlier, there's a little hiccup. The judge asked, all right, is the laptop ready? Which has all the things on it that they need, videos, whatever, blah, blah. Andrea Saka, thank you so much for the super chat. You're giving us you're giving us fantastic. God bless you. Thank you very much. Appreciate you. Okay, so the laptop is ready, but then they said, yeah, the exhibit list is not ready. The judge says, okay, what's wrong with the exhibit list? Mom, kids, and his immediate family were able to stay there. They locked us out for about half an hour. Plea deal all the way up to the jury deliberating, which was this morning. I think they have it in the bag. There's no plea deal. We didn't hear about a plea deal. I would have heard about it. Some of the legacy media, nobody reported it. Both sides felt confident going into deliberation like they won. I think that's really good, and it's like literally what I've been saying to you guys. Both sides have done together, kind of like congratulations, good job.
I want you to hear that part.
Blah, blah. This is something here important to note that the last minute. Oh, sorry. This is a note to myself. Just thought about while I was in court seeing everybody. A couple of people asked me about a plea deal. If there's going to be a plea deal, there could have been a plea deal all the way up to the jury deliberating, which was this morning. What that tells me and tells us, the fact that there was no plea deal, is both sides think that they're going to win. Normally, through a trial, a defendant will plead not guilty, and decide, oh, let's see who shows up. Oh, it's even sometimes even when you get a speeding ticket or just an infraction, you'll go to court and say, yo, let me see who shows up. I've seen it happen a bunch of times. Or even in criminal court, you're like, oh, I don't think I have that much of a defense, but let me see what they have. So, of course, Diddy's team went through trial. Sometimes halfway through the trial, you feel like you might be losing. You'll go through and you'll ask for a plea deal. Like in the Young Thug trial, the prosecution felt like they didn't have a chance. They gave him a plea deal, and that's why Thug got let out. Right. This just goes to show you that both sides feel like they have it in the bag. There's no plea deal. We didn't hear about a plea deal. I would have heard about it. Some of the legacy media, nobody reported it. Both sides felt confident going into deliberation like they won. I think that's really good, and it's like literally what I've been saying to you guys. Both sides have done an amazing, fantastic job. The that summary chart, not the room, okay? So 20 minutes later, Diddy comes back, and most of the court is empty. That is huge. Within 1 hour, I thought they were gonna go have lunch. It's 12:30. This shows you this jury is not comes running back in. Some people were outside, some people were
here it goes.
So they all come back. It takes around half an hour for everybody to get back together. The first jury note, listen to this. We have started deliberating, and we feel that juror number 25 cannot follow the judge's instructions. That is huge. Within 1 hour, I thought they were gonna go have lunch. It's 12:30. This shows you this jury is not playing around. We could get a verdict tomorrow. For them to go back and within half an hour come back and already point somebody out, so much so that they don't want to just keep it to themselves. They're like, hold on, we're sending a note to the judge. Yo, judge, there's one juror. He can't follow your instructions. I'm assuming it's a he. I'm pretty sure who it is. So, the court looked into it, and the prosecution said that they want time to answer what they should do. Because the judge is like, all right, what do we do now here, lawyers? It's up to the lawyers to decide what they want to do with juror number 25 because they feel like he can't understand that they can't follow his instructions. And I highlighted cannot, not maybe not or whatever. No, this person cannot follow instructions. So the prosecution said, listen, this is happening a little too quick. We're not sure what we want to do with this. We need some time to digest it. Mark Agnifilo and his team said, we suggest that you send a note back to the jury and tell them to keep going. This is only the beginning. Keep going.
Yep.
Both sides huddle around. Both sides keep talking together, and they don't know what to do about juror number 5. Okay? Sorry, juror number 25. Now, let me give you a small little insight into what I think this means and why I think Mark Agnifilo and team want them to continue. If you don't, what's up, brother? What do you guys think if a juror is not following the judge's decisions? It means that this jury, to me, is a little bit of a rebellion. He's a little bit of a rebel. I'm pretty sure it's a he. I'm pretty sure I know who it is. And I think that plays for the prosecution side. Somebody who is, I'm going to listen to everything the judge says. They said this was the law. They said that was the law. That means he's guilty.
But the judge gave them the green light for that.
With here, that means distribution is this. They mean this is whatever.
But hold up.
Technically, the second note back. Positive in my guesstimation. Positive to the defense. Taking screenshots, taking pictures of the note. They haven't told us. They give the note, and it's literally like it's like this. Mark starts asking Diddy what he wants to do. So he's, now that they all have talked, now that they're all frantic, and the prosecution is literally just sitting at their desk like, do. That's how you know it's something bad. The so the lawyer.
So yeah, something happened in court.
Of the note. They haven't told us. They give the note, and it's literally like a note, like on this notepad, like we write something down. Diddy's team is in panic.
Listen to this, y'all. Listen. I promise y'all. Right after this, I'm gonna let y'all go. Listen. This is the part I really wanted y'all to stay here for. So a note came back from the jury. And Diddy's team started scrambling. Listen, this isn't a bad thing, y'all. But I listened to the T Salai. I listened to the other people straight capping. Listen.
Mode. I don't even know what's on the note. Only the judge knows, the prosecution and the defense team, and they give them the note before they read it because it's like, what do you guys want to do with this? Diddy's team is freaking out. I already know it's bad. So let me tell you what we're hearing, or what I'm seeing, again, like my own eyes. Diddy's lawyers are all gathered together. They're all huddled around the note. Nicole Westmoreland looks very worried. Tenny, Shapiro, and Nicole are all gathered together. Then the young lawyer, Mark, Brian Steele, and Xavier, they all huddled together. I don't know why all the guys were huddling together and all the girls were huddling together. Then Nicole and Brian Steele start talking together. I have never seen them like this. I'm in the courtroom every day. I have never seen them in a frantic pace like this. Mark starts asking Diddy what he wants to do. So he's, now that they all have talked, now that they're all frantic, and the prosecution is literally just sitting at their desk like, do. That's how you know it's something bad. So the lawyer's frantic looking around, and then Tenny starts sitting at her computer like, all right, before we go totally off the Richter scale, let's start looking around. Let's start like doing some research, trying to find out trying to find out what to do, okay? So Tenny starts looking at her computer. Diddy is steadfast, and he is straight looking ahead like this. He's at his desk like this. He looks stressed, man. I've never seen the team like this. I literally thought like they had a verdict on like a couple of the charges. The feeling, again, I don't know. I'm just telling you the feeling that I'm feeling, and people in the gallery feeling the same thing. We don't know. So the judge comes in at 5 o'clock. This started at 4:30, gave them half an hour. The judge comes in at 5 o'clock and says, the jury note is asking this. Listen.
Listen. The jury is asking the judge. This is why Diddy started scrambling in his team. Listen, people, if you are a human being and you're not a bot, Pay attention. Hit the like button, y'all.
Ask the
Stop
line
playing.
on the jury instructions, page 37. If a person hands over DRUG to another person, is that distribution? That is not good, guys. That's not good for Diddy. Any of you Diddy fans out there that wants the free Diddy, that is not good. Again, I don't.
That is, people, it's not good. It's not good. So the juror is trying to ask, like, yo, so anybody hand you drugs? That's a crime? So they need further clarification. Listen.
Have skin in the game. That is not a good question.
It's not a good question.
Was the first thing I spoke about during the prosecution's closing, when I think her name is Anna or Christy Slovenia. When she first started talking about RICO, she presented RICO like this. She said, "Ladies and gentlemen of the jury, blah, 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 blah. Diddy is going down. He's a bad person. He's a man. Let me explain to you RICO. DRUG. You all might think that's like the movies and like this and like that. It doesn't need to be keys. It doesn't need to be briefcases. It simply needs to, it could be a personal amount. That is enough under the, oh, it's starting to rain. That is enough under the RICO Act. And distribution. It doesn't have to be distributing it all over New York, Miami, LA. Distribution is, and I made fun of this, this bottle of Perel that I bring around everywhere with me, if this has some white stuff in it, and I have it in my hand, and I give it to you, and you take it, that is distribution.
Now, y'all heard me break this down. People, I broke this down week 3. He did say in the closing arguments, people, I've been telling y'all for 3 weeks. Frank said, nah, that's crazy. People, I was the first person telling you for 3 weeks. People are like, what does that mean? If this is a joint, and I'm like, yo, yeah, my nigga, that means you having a cipher. People, you know how many people I know in New York City? Yo, my guy, you got a bogey, my nigga? I got a half a bogue. They light it. Take a couple of drags. Here, my guy, here. We are all drug dealers. We are all kingpins. We are all kingpins. People, listen to this.
I understand that is technically the law, but that's some BS, yo. Because, and like the other person said just in...
Yes. Hi, Papas.
Mama, the mouse.
Okay, listen to me. It's okay. You hungry? Mama, did he eat some mango? Did you eat it? Alright. Mango is good? Okay, Daddy's almost done, okay?
Mama, no, now.
Alright, Mommy, because you've been watching Mouse all day. So now let Mommy watch her TV show, okay?
Mama, not that.
Look at me, okay? Say okay.
Okay.
Show me your muscles. Show me your muscles. All right, go. Close the door, please. I'll be out there. I'll be out there in a minute. People, listen to this.
The super chat, and like I told you guys for the past 2 days, it doesn't have to be...
Right. I've been having this discussion for weeks. People, that means, yes, pain medication. That means when you go to the pharmacy and they say Mr. and Mrs. Combs, Mr. Combs, Mr. Rodriguez, there you go. This is This is distribution. People, I told you. That means every company on planet Earth is practicing RICO. I was the first person to tell y'all this. Why don't you guys believe me?
Be two separate predicate acts. It could be one predicate act 2 times. If the jury decides to find Diddy guilty of his small personal vials of DRUG, and he handed it to Cassie, he handed it to Jane, he handed it to Brendan Paul, and in every single one of their testimonies, they all said, yeah, was this personal use? Brendan Paul said, yeah, the first time I did it was with Diddy. I wanted to stay loyal to him. He asked me if I wanted to do it. I tried it. Cassie said, yeah, I tried it. No big deal. Just, I tried it. How many of you out there have had a small personal amount of DRUG and handed it to somebody more than 2 times? If you're in an organization, that is grounds for RICO, that's crazy work. I don't care what side you're on, Diddy, if you want Diddy to go to jail or you want him to stay, that is crazy work. If the government could get Sean Diddy Combs on RICO for DRUG personally, handing it to somebody, that is crazy work. I bet you there'll be an uproar if that is what he's charged with, if he was charged with 2 counts, and I think that's why his team was like, you're joking. And this is just the first day of deliberation.
Right. Diddy's team is like, yo, this can't be what they over there discussing. This cannot be.
And the jury is coming back asking, really? That's the same thing I asked. Like, for real? You're trying to tell me? That's
right. So if the jury's coming back like, yo, y'all not telling us that this is trafficking. You're not telling me that this is distribution. You're not gonna, people, that means they're trying to bend the law. That means everybody on planet Earth is guilty. People, food is a DRUG. Food that you put in your mouth, people, under any circumstances. If somebody's homeless and they need water, I can use water to manipulate anybody to do anything. Coffee, right? Yo, what you want in your coffee? You want the light and sweet? I got you, Playboy. Hold up. There you go. This is people. I told you this, people. I told you this. What was it? 3 Mondays ago, when nobody said nothing. If this is what they're calling RICO, every company in the world is participating in RICO. I told y'all, this is not about Diddy. This is about powerful men in position. If they get Diddy for this, that means every single company in the world they coming after. Y'all think I'm fucking around. I was not fucking around when I said that. I was not fucking around when I said that. I was not playing around when I said that. Yup, you selling cigarettes in your store? Lock them up. Yup.
That's why the jury asked. This is their second note. Oh, I'm gonna have to take out my umbrella. This is the second note, y'all? For real? Hold on, guys. Let me take out my umbrella, and then I'll get to, because I really want to see what you guys have to say about this. Hold on.
Diddy innocent.
Hold up. Stay with me now. All right. Umbrella. All right, okay, cool. If this is what Diddy goes down for under RICO, then, okay, that's technical. But that means the government's got to go, excuse me, after 90% of the other enterprises in the world or in America. Every single music label has done this. Every single movie industry or production house every single one will be guilty of the RICO Act. That's what scares me about the law. The law is written in a way that could be bent to really go after anybody they want. That is why in Mark's closing argument was like, yo, they were targeting him like like, yo, if say what you want about Cassie, say what you want about Jane, about all these other things or whatever, blah, 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 blah. If this is what Diddy goes down for and he spends the rest of his life, because remember, a RICO charge is life. If that's what they get him for, a small personal amount, hand it to somebody and they call that distribution, that is crazy.
Now we're gonna stop here. He said, how many rappers on? People, this is what I'm saying. This is what I'm saying. That means every company in the world, people, I said this way before any other content creator. If you was following me for the longest time from the beginning of this trial, people, I was the first person that said, everybody is practicing RICO. Even the presidency is a RICO. I said if Diddy goes down for this, this is not about Diddy. They're going to use this to tear down every single man in a powerful position. This is not a game. This is not funny no more. This is not funny no more. Right. Law enforcement, police officers, fire departments, Navy, Army, Harvard University, McDonald's, children's schools. Every single person is guilty of RICO. Frank Nitty said, I think you're right. Give them some flesh. Because they out here, yeah. This is why I said what I said. This is why on week 2, I said, Diddy should have just copped out. Or just took a plea deal. Look, I know y'all guys want y'all pound of flesh. Look, give me 10 years. I've already been in here for a year and some change. I'm out in 18 months. Time served, good time. They'll let me go in 4 months. I'm back home by the end of the year. The rest of my time, I'm on probation or whatever the case. Because if Diddy walks, they're not going to let him live. 15 years ain't it. Nothing Diddy done warrants 15 years. Nothing. He said at this point, the whole case is in jeopardy. 100%. People, I'm going to say it again. I wasn't playing. I know maybe some of y'all don't want to hear the words that are coming out of my mouth. Turn on your notifications. Every time I go live, I'm speaking facts, y'all. I want y'all to understand something. Everybody is participating in this. Every company, lawyers' offices, law firms, everybody is a RICO. NBA basketball teams, LeBron James coerced the Lakers to take his son, and then LeBron went publicly and said, anybody who takes my son, XYZ, this, that, and the third, they coerced everybody to get LeBron's son to the Lakers. RICO. Stop. 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 But listen, y'all, I'm going to let y'all go. I appreciate everybody showing up, showing out, showing love. I appreciate y'all all tuning in. Y'all already know what time it is, man. True Hall of Fame Bills. I love y'all. See you on the next one. Wepa, que lo que. Ya tú sabes. Wepa.